Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate anybody who views and watches anything that I'm putting out. And welcome to the shack. Always dropping something. I just want to give a quick overview, and I have some video clips I'll kind of fade in and out as I'm going. Stuff that I saw at the Association of Woodworking and Furnishing Suppliers convention in Las Vegas this last week, July 22nd through, was it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So whatever Saturday was, 25th, something like that, I don't remember. But I've never been to one, and it only happens every 2 years. So the next one is going to be in 2017. I've been out of the woodworking for about 15 years. I was in it, you know, I was watching my stuff. My stepfather had a cabinet shop. My uncle owned a construction company, worked in the cabinet shop. My uncle worked with him in construction for a while, built a couple custom homes in Idaho. We had B of A account, and we've built many Jiffy Lubes when they were first coming out. So I told you how long that was. When I kind of stopped, I got into my own thing for about 15 years. My father died. I actually quit work for 2 years. So now I'm kind of getting back into it. So this was a huge eye-opener in just how much advanced in this industry from when I got out. So it's basically, if you got out 15 years ago, went someplace, another country, came back, all of a sudden, look how we've gone in our computers, in our cell phones. In the last 15 years, it's like, whoa! So I was overwhelmed. There was so much advancement, and I don't mean just the tools that I get, I mean overall. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was just crazy. The level of the CNC machines that are completely taking over everything. You throw, they got, I'll show you the one, I think it's Bessie. They suction, you can have an array of different thicknesses, different types of wood, whatever, laid out, and this machine will pick individual ones out in any order that you need, take them to the table, that thing feeds through, CNC comes out, cuts out anything you need, rolls out, you punch them out, set them up, and that's it. No more lifting, no more nothing, man. This whole thing does it, the suction stuff. And I mean, this is like crazy. But on the same note, there wasn't much for guys like me. The small shop with a couple guys. The CNC machines and stuff, I think the cheapest one I saw there was starting at about $80,000. And that's not including this setup. That's not including your software stuff you got to do. Just the fact that how far it's gone, oh man, it blew me away. So overall the show was pretty good. But it, like I said, it was really geared to bigger production, big distribution. I couldn't go in there and just get maybe 20 guys for a cabinet design I'm making, because they want 1,000 piece minimum order. Like, whew, well, that puts me out. And one of the CNC machines I was looking at on a smaller scale, because I want to maybe incorporate some design in cabinetry as far as the doors, having engraves and stuff, I think it'd be really cool. But because some of the cabinet doors are larger, you have to get this certain size CNC machine. But if any of you are like me and you're Apple, you're out of business, because this CNC particular machine was strictly Microsoft. So it's like, well, I guess I'm not talking to you no more, because I just do that right out the window. So that was an issue. I found a few things too. And I was kind of, there were specific things I was going to look for. I was looking for a Freud data blade outfit. Incara on one of the box joint, the iBox. I was looking for one of those maybe. A nice dovetail jig setup I was looking at. There's a couple things that I'm trying to incorporate and change in the shop here. And there was a couple items from Woodpecker I wanted to get, because I love Woodpecker stuff. Anything that's made in the US, anything that's, again, CNC machine. Can't get away from CNC stuff now, but it's so precise. That's what I like about it. There was a couple of things I wanted from Woodpecker, but nobody was out there. Freud was out there, but they weren't selling their stuff. General was out there, and they were selling the machinery. If I would have went back Saturday, the very last day, I could have got a very good deal, because they would rather sell it than haul it back. A lot of the other distributors out there didn't have any place local for me out here in California, but they had distribution centers in New Mexico and some other places. You know, they weren't really out this way. So it does me no good, because by the time I pay for the shipping, I can pay a little bit more here and get it still cheaper than that. So I was really bummed out that I couldn't get a lot of stuff that I wanted. And I was really just dismayed that more vendors or more tooling was out there not being sold. DeWalt, Senko, there's another one that had a third party out there selling their stuff, but they weren't. But again, they didn't have a good price, because I use a lot when I build my outdoor furniture, the 2-inch and the 2.5-inch finish nail. I use a lot when I build those, so I could use that. I had to buy $100 minimum just to get 25% off, and I couldn't get it there. So I'm like, I'm striking out everywhere. I can't get nothing. Just not a lot, and I couldn't find anything. But I did get one thing, and I'll show that a little later. But it's comical watching these people going through this exhibition, and they're frantic, grabbing everything they can get a hold of, and it's all free. I have enough pencils. I don't need no more, so I didn't go around grabbing pencils from everybody, or pens. It was funny. But I just go through some of the stuff I did get, and some of my thoughts. But every day you had a book, and it gave you the list of maybe little specials going on with their certain vendors, speakers and events that were going on that day. I said I went there Wednesday and Thursday, first 2 days. So you got one of those when you checked in, and your ticket was good for all 4 days. And you had this other book that had a lot of stuff in it, and a little bit about every one of the vendors. Little 2 or 3 paragraphs of the vendors, and what their vision and what they want to get, or what they're trying to sell and stuff. So that was kind of, you need to browse through and look. There were a few things that I was just amazed at, and a lot of them that I stopped at because I have the product here and I use it. One of them was Tight Bond, and I spoke with these guys basically because some of the jobs I use liquid nail. I said, how compared are you to that product? So I got some info on it, and I told them how much I like their product, because I use Tight Bond in my shop. Tight Bond 2 for the outdoor furniture because of the water. It gets rained down and stuff, so I don't want a glue that's going to dissolve. And I use the original for basically everything else in here. Those are my 2 primary glues, and actually, okay, I got one here. So Titebond I liked, and I just talked with them a little bit, but I didn't like them at first. They were a little bit distant, and to me, yeah, it's going to be tiresome. You're there 4 days and you're just trying to sell, represent. But that's your job, buddy. You're there representing this company. You better be on your A game all the time and just deal with the exhaustion and the repetitiveness of 4 days of talking about the same thing all the time. But I was standing there, one guy was sitting down, one guy was looking at his phone stuff. I'm like, can I get some info? Oh yeah, what do you want? And you looked right at me like 5 times with your thumb up your butt. So I wasn't too happy about that. But I liked Titebond itself. They just had their reps were a little off that one day. So we talked a little bit, and I told them what I just told you, how I use it in my shop, and I want information on other stuff. Because I might start using it just to see how well it works. Another one out there, when you first walked in, and I got this bag just because I didn't know what I was going to get, was Blum. Now, you know, my stepfather had a cabinet shop. When he passed away, she got rid of a lot of things, and I told her to keep some of the stuff because I still need to use it, and I would like to have some of it. The other day I went there looking for some wire, and I came across this box that I thought it might be in, and it was something from Blum. And I was looking at it, and it was some type of jig, had 7, I think, bits on it, kind of a big head and this big spindle. I'm like, well, it looks like one of those things you'd use for drilling holes for adjustable shelving and cabinetry. But what does it go to? And there was this flat piece that looked like a jig for a table saw or for a drill press or something. Well, I was talking to a gentleman at Blum, just how neat some of the stuff was in there, and I looked to my right while we were talking, and I stopped in mid-sentence, and I go, oh my God, I got one of those. And he's talking about this setup, but it's newer. The one that I have, or at least, you know, my stepfather had 20 plus years ago. And we were talking about it. He goes, well, it should have this adjustment under this, and the reason that wasn't a very desirable design because you had to reach under all the bits, and you're hitting your hand or your knuckles, cutting them, trying to get underneath the adjustment on it. But I go, what? It sucks because the motor's gone. He goes, motor? I said, yeah, it's got this piece. And I was showing him on what they had there. It had this piece, but this motor's gone. He's looking at it, he goes, you know what? A while back, we had something for a while. Not very long, very temporary, but it was a setup for a drill press. And I go, that's it. It goes to the drill press. Like, dang. So you can teach an old dog new tricks. I learned something. Here I had this thing at my mom's house in the shop back there. I had no idea what it was. I was going to get rid of it because I didn't know. But I learned what it was. So like, hot dog, I figured something out. So now I'm going to build a few things in the house. I got this list growing. My oldest daughter just had our first grandchild. My youngest daughter is due in 3 more weeks. So we're like, within a month and a half, I get 2 kids born. Boom, boom. So a lot of the projects, and I apologize, people, because I'm trying to get projects done, but family is happening right now. So things are kind of put on hold. But I want to build a couple of cabinets in the house for my wife, for her computer table. I want to build it, and for a little entertainment center to go underneath my flat screen TV. And I needed a jig like that. I got one now. Didn't even have to buy it. So I learned something that's cool. Now I can't wait to go back to my mom's this week. I'm going to tell her what it is. I'm going to bring it home and I'm going to try it out and see how well it works. I'm just thinking if I get a long piece on a drill press. Yeah, so I don't know how it's going to work. So we'll see.